You
It
went
was a
to Living Foods Institute, right?
Yeah.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
even know if it's still there anymore,
I'm
but
not sure either. Was
it
that
was.
Brenda Cobb?
Yeah. It
Yep.
was there for a long time, and it was a very helpful place where you could get everything that you probably hear about and what people do to detox, and
Raw
I learned
foods,
raw foods.
juicing.
Like I learned how to prepare raw foods and the benefits. Like I learned the why behind what I was doing.
The calendar on this: September diagnosed. I'm sorry, September lump surgery. October finally got the diagnosis.
And
So
then
married for 2 months in September, 3 months by the time cancer diagnosis came along, and then now in January.
no, we need
Right?
to go back to November 4th, which was election day 2008. And that was when I started, after reading Bill Henderson's book, Cancer Free, Your Guide to Gentle Non-Toxic Healing. That's when I started. That was my starting point. His book, his research was the starting point of where I was going to build my protocol on. And so I didn't know that at the time. At the time, I remember thinking, I'm just going to do this for 3 months and
Yep.
see what happens. And that was kind of
That was her kind of
my
consensus.
agreement,
Yeah.
because I was very concerned.
It's like, okay, but I'll give it 3 months. And I was like, great, just
Yeah,
3
because
months.
we still were
see what
not
happens.
seeing like 100% eye to eye, but that's where I think I could take, in a way, my newlywed independent woman power back, where I was like, yes, we're married. Yes, we're one now. Yes, my body is your body kind of stuff. Because it's true, biblical marriage. Yeah, so that was where I'm saying, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. So we both agreed that Bill Henderson's work was a great place to start. And I did everything he suggested in his book. I just started right then. And that was in.
And you
that was
gave
November
yourself 3
4th.
months.
Yeah,
Along
I said,
with-
let's go
along
to
with,
November. Yeah.
Along with
Yeah.
the Budwood protocol,
Yeah, well,
supplements you're ordering.
he had recommended the Budwig mixture, which is part of Johanna Budwig, the German biophysicist from, her works from the 1930s and 40s, 50s.
Messiac tea.
Yeah, so beta 1 3D glucan was part of Bill's recommendation. So I took that every morning first thing. And then the raw organic vegan diet for me at the beginning, like I mentioned earlier in the interview, was the Vitamix, blending it up and pinching my nose and downing it because it was so difficult. I couldn't.
Now, wait, hold that thought, because as some of you who have this book right here, Beat Cancer Daily, there's an entry from Cortney about this.
Yes.
And Kevin actually submitted, he has an entry in there too. But Courtney's, what I love so much about your story, and the reason I'm interrupting is because I don't want you to jump over it, is that, you were making a green smoothie, right? Every day, a giant Vitamix blender full of veggies, 64 ounces. So it's the full container, right?
High as it goes.
And yeah. And I want you to tell what was in it. But before you do that, you didn't like it. It didn't taste good to you. And so you would hold your nose to drink it. And you held your nose and drank it every single day for a year and a half, holding your nose.
It's a long time. I mean, I remember I did the Budwig protocol for 18 months with my nose pinched. And that only thing that changed, and I don't want to give it away, but I ended up, our daughter was born 18 months after I started my cancer protocol, and I couldn't nurse with I had to use both hands. So I had to give up the
nose holding.
Yeah, we could have used a nose plug, like a swimmer's nose plug. We didn't know about that then anyway. We didn't think about it. But yeah, but it was good. I had to take my, my training wheels off or whatever and start, yeah. And I did fine. And then I learned about, putting a little stevia in there and some cinnamon and different things. I have lots of ideas because I did it for so long.
Now, what was in the giant green smoothie?
So at first I just didn't know, Chris, I didn't know what vegetables existed. I didn't eat vegetables. I didn't even know really like avocado or, I knew very basic things. So it was a lot of like lettuce and carrots and tomato and whatever would be like in a classic American salad. But I started starving. Like
broccoli.
Broccoli. Yeah. And so it was really what I think the Budwig mixture helped me, because if it's the cottage cheese flaxseed oil. So it's really high in fat and protein. So that helped me keep my weight on, but it still was difficult to keep weight on. And it really wasn't until the Living Foods Institute and going and learning about different foods and sprouts and, how I could use avocado in a smoothie. Like I would never have thought to put an avocado in a smoothie. That's how basic I was. I was just a basic American eating, kid. So
Lunchables.
Yes, I was raised on Lunchables. Oh my goodness. I can taste them right now. And Cheez-Its and a Diet Coke, you know.
Well, and somebody's going to ask, you know, I'm not a fan of the Budwig protocol.
I know you're not.
I'm not
I
a fan,
know.
but I'm also acknowledge there are people who consumed it as yourself, and it was part of their protocol, and they got well, and so hey, that's great. Because if I don't put that disclaimer in there, I'm going to get a million emails, people saying, "Oh, I thought you didn't." Yeah, so
And I do have a little story about long-term use of the Budwig protocol and how it became a problem later on. But
well, let's get to that. But just to put a button on the other thing, again, your story, your determination is so awesome. And there's such an important lesson there, because I know there are people who are trying to get well and they have issues with food, right? They just have issues with food, with I don't like vegetables. I don't like the taste of this. I don't like the texture, whatever. That wasn't me. I mean, my approach was, if it's going to help me, I'll eat it. I don't care what it tastes like. And I did figure out a way to make it taste good. Like, people know me from the giant cancer fighting salad. It's on the cover of, you know, my cookbook or whatever. And I figured out a way to make it taste delicious, and I enjoyed it. But I decided, like, it doesn't matter what it tastes like. I'm going to get it in my body. And you struggled with the taste and smells or whatever it was, but your determination just to eat it anyway, right? You're like, I don't care. I'm going to get it in my body. And so you really have no excuse. If you have to hold your nose, like, get food in your body, that food that will help you, anti-cancer food, fruits and vegetables.
And I remember too,
fruits are easy.
The Vitamix was good because it was pre-digested, right? It's like this idea of you want to save all of your body's energy and your enzymes and so forth, and give it food that's the lightest on the burden on the system as you possibly can. I remember that was kind of our thought process back then. And while we're speaking, I pulled it up on her website real quick, Chris. We could blow through this, but this is literally from your website.
This is what I ate during my cancer, where I was actively trying to heal. And I said smoothies. Half an avocado.
Cortney's kick butt cancer fighting concoction.
And I mean, this would change depending on what was available at the store sometimes, but generally this is what I needed to put into my smoothie every day in order for it to be therapeutic.
That's 3 to 4 cups
and enough calories
cups?
As well.
3 to 4 cups.
3 to 4 cups water, half an avocado, Brussels, 2 full Brussels sprouts, 1 leaf of kale, half an apple, 3 handfuls of baby greens or spinach, half a cup of broccoli, half a cup of broccoli sprouts, half a cup lentils, sprouted lentils and mung beans or both, half a handful of sunflower sprouts, half a handful of buckwheat lettuce sprouts, 1 tablespoon dulse or kelp seaweed, and a pinch of cayenne pepper.
Love it. That's hardcore. It's tons of sprouts, tons of cruciferous veggies. That is a recipe for success. Thanks for watching. If you like what you just saw, why not subscribe? Here's a link to do that. And if you'd like to watch the full interview, you can find it at chrisbeatcancer.com. There's a link to it in the description right below this video.